So, this is the inevitable follow-up. I like to do this kind of as a 1-2 punch. Whenever I do this sort of shit now, I like to do it as a 1-2 punch. Just because I want to see what happens the first day. Because it's always interesting what happens the first day. And there's always the possibility that I'm going to get in 20 times more trouble with this video than I would have with the first video had it would have even fucking. So, I like to do this shit as a 1-2 punch because you never know, might get more and more content out of it, and that's always cool. I like to bleed things as much as I can until it's dry, and then I'm done. Right? And that, only one person is going to get that. I watched a video about a person by a person, and I don't know why I did. I guess my interest was just so piqued over the opening event of my holiday vacation, my Christmas vacation. My interest was so piqued by that event that I said, fuck it, I'll watch it, whatever. I literally had about an hour to waste. That I had nothing else to do. I'm like, I'm going to get food, I'm going to order food, and I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to kind of like, you know, just sit for a minute and let everything settle before I go and do other things. Right? That's going to take about an hour. And I'm just going to sit here and watch videos while I eat anyway, so I might as well just watch this. And it'll just be the whole thing. It'll be my dinner video. Right? So I watched it, and I made like a 20-minute video about it yesterday. And then I uploaded it to the computer from the camera. And it got to the point where I'm like, ooh, it's late enough. If I'm going to edit that video and post it, I need to start editing it now so that it's ready to post when I finally want to go to bed. And I sat there and I thought, I deleted it. Because I'm like, nope, 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 no, not doing it. So, anyways, but yeah, and I also think this is giving me another idea for another video that I think I need to make. I'm attributing meaning to these flags. I kind of try to convey that to you guys, but sometimes I forget to like reiterate it in another video where it's important to know. The smiley face has a meaning, to me at least. The meaning of the smiley face to me is that, like, I'm kind of fucking with you guys. Like, I'm just fucking with you, right? Like, there are going to be people on both sides of this. People that have both done this and been the butt of this particular act. Like, you just tease somebody. Like, really hardcore. Because everybody's in a really good mood, and even you're fucking rolling with it, right? Everything's funny, and if you're a good enough person doing this kind of thing, you don't hit the sore spots, you just, you know, you hit the funny stuff, and you gotta be funny about it to be able to do this. But you just rail somebody fucking hardcore for like 20 minutes straight. And everybody's laughing, including that person. Everybody's just fucking rolling. Like, that's kind of the way that I think of it when I do videos like I did yesterday. It's me just kind of going, but I'm also hitting the hard, like, I'm hitting the soft spots with these videos because, you know, but also at the same time, like, I'm not, it's another thing I do a lot that I gotta stop doing. I talk specifically to the people, like I address, it's weird because I'm addressing, when I make these videos, I'm addressing specific certain group of people. And while I'm addressing that certain specific group of people, I say things like you guys and that. Because I'm, you know, talking to you guys. And it's always interesting to me on, as far as who identifies with it as me talking to them. Like, there are sometimes I get comments where people say, man, it was like you were talking directly to me. And I was just like, wow. And you know, but, you know, that's obviously when I'm doing something good, I think, whatever. Anyways, but there's a lot of times when I get, man, fuck you, and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, so you are one of the people that I was talking directly to. You know? And that's how I kind of turn over subscribers. And I don't know, like, it's funny to me to do that way. I understand that I'm running a hardcore risk of creating my own little echo chamber wherein everybody just agrees with me all the time. But I don't feel like I'm doing that quite yet. Because I still get people that question me a lot. That's good. I like that. So I don't really feel like I'm doing that just yet. If it gets to that point, I'll have to address that when it gets to that point. But nevertheless, you know, whatever. But I'm kind of gathering around me the people that either aren't this insane or that don't take themselves so seriously that they can divorce themselves from the harshness of what I'm saying if it applies to them. I think that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if I say something really fucked up and you go, ah, that applies to me, you fucker! And it's like, you get really angry and just go, well, fuck this shit, and leave. Well, I can't help that. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But if you take that and you go, man, okay, maybe I'm kind of like that a little bit. Shit. Then there could be growth there. You know what I mean? Whatever. Neither here nor there. But like this, you know, I'm 90% playing around. Whenever I have the smiley face video, you know, flag up. I think, I know I've said that before, but I think it should be obvious if I got a smiley face flag up behind me, not to take things too damn seriously, right? And in the last video, somebody got upset and decided to part ways and wish me good luck, and I wish them good luck, and, you know, fantastic. They said I was starting to sound too MGTOW, and I'm like, compared to like everything else I've done, okay. Like, I didn't really see it. I saw it as more realism. I was injecting a healthy dose of realism into that lady's hypothetical question, right? And if you have a hypothetical question that you can do, all hypothetical questions you can do that with, really, when it comes down to it. But the degree to which, like, you're setting yourself up for just open mocking, right? And the point, I don't know if you caught onto this, but it's my belief, at least, that the point of the question even being asked, if you had 24 hours with no men, what would you do? I honestly think that the point of the question being asked is to get women to essentially say, we feel restricted in doing things even so simple as just going for a walk outside at night because we're terrified of you men, right? And we're all meant to see that and be shamed into, oh, well, I guess I'm going to continue to not harm women. But, man, I feel really bad about how terrible it must be for all you ladies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are ways to take a nice walk at night by yourself, right? And yeah. Anyways, so I thought that the question was just ridiculous, right? Because it's so easy to just pick apart. But yeah, I'm being a prick about it. Like, I get that I get that I'm being a prick about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just fucking around. Being an asshole. Yeah, sure. But, you know, you gotta kind of be an asshole to shit on somebody's hypothetical parade. I just realized the Christmas cards are relevant again. Merry Christmas, everybody. Alright, so, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be a prick to just be like, nah, fuck your hypothetical situation. Here's what's wrong with it, bitch. Like, you know, people that nitpick movies and shit like that. I'm one of them. What do you want from me? So, yeah. Somebody got upset. And like, for my part, I mean, it's an obvious manipulation, I think. Maybe that's the MGTOW in me talking. I don't know. But if you scroll past the bulk of them, which seem to be now, I would miss my husband, you know, shit like that. But if you look into the thing that really made me want to fucking talk about it is so many women were all, I'm just so terrified of men. I can't do it. I can't even go walk outside because terrified of men. And I'm sitting there going, that's really sad. Like, either you live in a really, really bad neighborhood, in which case, good for you. Protect yourself. Don't go walk outside because it's dangerous. You live in a really bad neighborhood. And it's going to be just as dangerous for a man as you, whatever, doesn't matter. It's going to be double dangerous for you. I guess here's my argument if I then say it's double dangerous. It's double dangerous for you guys because you're weaker than men. I don't know what to tell you. Just on average, it's a better bet to hold up a woman. Like, it's shitty, and that sucks. But that's why if you live in a really heavily crime area, you either want to move or you don't go walk outside by yourself. And it's good that you don't do that. Protect yourself. Like, I'm always an advocate of women protecting themselves. So, or, on the other side, you have a really, really unhealthy outlook of men, and you could just go ahead and take a walk outside, and most likely you'd be fine. I got a comment from a woman that said, I walk outside whenever the fuck I want to. Nobody bothers me. So, you know, I'm like, alright, well, there's at least one of you. You know, so I can at least make somewhat of an argument that it's possible. So you know what I mean? Like, just the whole thing of it was so ridiculous. Now, I imagine you're asking, what would you do better? I would have asked a far more interesting question as far as I'm concerned. If, and I'll pose this question to all of you, leave your comments below. If you had 24 hours to live in your perfect world, what would that look like? I think that's a much more interesting question, because I'm sure that there are women out there that would say there would be no men and I could take a walk outside in peace and safety. And I'd go, wow, well, okay, well, that's the type of person you are. And it would give me an understanding of that. And you never know what people would say. I mean, think about it. If you could create your perfect world and live in it for 24 hours, what would that look like? You know what I mean? You never know what people could say. And that's a far more interesting question to me. And I think that it would, you know, give a lot better result, because most likely she has nothing but feminist followers. And if she said, what would your perfect world look like for 24 hours? Most of them would say the same shit they said. There would be no men, and I could walk in peace. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that prove your point a little bit better? No, because then everybody would go, well, that's just what you have in you. This is a psychological question at that point. You know what I mean? You're looking into the psychology of, you know, what would your perfect existence look like if you could live it for 24 hours? I don't know. The time limit has to factor into it too. You know what I mean? I'd backpack across Europe. Can't do that in 24 hours. Sorry. Gotta come up with something else. You know. But one could argue perfect world. See? You know, it causes all sorts of debate. It's a far more interesting question. I mean, you know, I would never ask if it was 24 hours and there was no women, what would I do? I would go to work. I'd probably wake up, right? I'd drive into work, listen to Fox and Friends, and they'd probably be talking about how Ainsley's not on the air because we don't know where the fuck Ainsley is. She's just gone. We all came into work. Ainsley's not here. We called her. We don't know. And in fact, none of the women are here. We have no idea where any of the women are. We've got anchors in there running a fucking booth because we needed people to fill in all sorts of different places. But, you know, we're figuring it out. Sorry. So, you know, and I'd be like, wow, all the women are gone. And I'd probably notice there's a lot less traffic. And be like, that's cool. And I'd drive to work. And I'd work my shift. Right? And then I'd go home and make a YouTube video about, wow, there was no women today. What? That was fucking crazy, man. I mean, I imagine it was a hell of a lot different for the rest of you, but it was weird. It was just weird being on the outside looking in, you know, what life was going to be like for all you guys without your ladies. So there's crazy shit going on. I hear parties upstairs. You know what I mean? Like, because when it really comes down to it, some of the most restricted people in this world are men. Married men. Not saying all, but I am saying a lot. There's a lot. More than a couple. Slightly more than a few. I'd say there's probably a lot of men out there who have to check in. You know, they just don't really have freedom. I want to hang out with the guys this weekend if that's cool. No, we had that thing this weekend. Oh, okay. And then they can't do it, you know. Like, I've seen it. I know it exists. I've seen the shit, right? And those guys would be like, you know what I mean? The warden's gone. Wow! And they'd probably go fucking ape shit. Right? Yeah. I don't know. Like, just for me, I would be like, probably call my dad and be like, hey, what are you doing, man? Like, I imagine you're just sitting around at home watching fucking YouTube. Like, Mom ain't there, let's hang out, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, I just think it would be surreal for most guys, but I think life would kind of continue on for the 24 hours. If it was a permanent thing, well, we'd just kind of, you know, we'd make robot women. We would get really hardcore interested in funding robot women. Like, that would all of a sudden become the most, you know, revolutionized thing ever. And we'd have robot women, and then we would just slowly fucking die off, because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Those questions like that, you know, people ask those questions, and they're just so baited. You can just tell they're baited. I don't know how they're baited, but it's fucking baited. You cannot say it's not a baited question. It's a very baited question. So when people ask me hypothetical baited questions, nothing makes me happier than injecting as much harsh and harshly worded reality as possible into it. Because that way it just makes me happy to watch the look on their face as they slowly go, you know, my thing that I thought was going to be so funny and piss off so many men and make them all so angry, and now I'm angry because this asshole is telling me like it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody else left a comment, which, yeah, it's a comment from a commenter on YouTube. The guy, as far as I know, has never said anything really outwardly way ridiculous. I have no reason not to trust him. But I have no reason to trust him, because I have not looked this up myself. But he said, this guy I saw on YouTube, he said that like 5 years ago, either the Department of Defense or I don't know, some economics department of some sort or another they ran a hypothetical scenario of what would happen if, like, men didn't go to work for one day. If we literally went on and said, oh, I don't give a shit what happens. Let the whole world burn for all I care. We ain't going to work today. If every man literally did that, what would happen? And I don't know how much of this is hyperbole. Obviously, he didn't give me a full rundown of the report. I don't think it was just summed up into this one sentence. But he said essentially, like, within 4 hours, the world would collapse and everybody here would be speaking Chinese or Russian. And I was kind of like, all right. You know, like, it made me laugh. I thought it was funny. And I was like, you know, I figured that, you know, in the hypothetical situation, let's say it winds up being permanent, right? Let's say this winds up being some sort of women technology that zaps all of the men into some side universe where we're all by ourselves and you are all now by yourselves. What happens if, oh shit, we can't get them back, and it becomes permanent? Like I said, robot bitches, and we'll just die off. You guys, however, I think it would literally become Lady of the Flies in like a week. I think it would take a week. Right? Now, I'm not saying widespread Lady of the Flies. Right? I'm not saying you guys are going to be dressing up in fucking skins and running around with spears. Right? But I'm thinking that might is going to inevitably make right in this world structure going forward. You know, I'm just saying, when push comes to shove, like I said, the ladies with talent, or not talent so much as skills, the ladies with skills are going to become the slave class for the ladies with talent. The ladies with no skill, only talent, are going to control somehow all of the ladies with skills and make them make everything function somehow. Right? You guys figure it out. We're too pretty to understand any of this. And I'm not knocking on every woman that thinks she's pretty either. Please save it. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm just... Right? Like, I'm just throwing the stereotypes around because it's hypothetical, right? We're hypothetically analyzing what would happen if every man disappeared. So you'd have Morlock and Elam women. And, you know, the Morlocks would work in the sewers and keep everything running so that the Elam can, you know. And the only thing is, every once in a while, maybe an Elam strays, or a Morlock comes up because they're hungry and snatches up an Elam and takes them down into the sewers and eats them. I don't even remember what the fuck book that is. Is that the Time Machine? I don't know. Anyways. So, yeah. I don't know. You know, it's always sad when I drive people away, but it does always make me laugh when it's like, all of a sudden now, like, because it wasn't all that long ago that I had mistakenly relayed a very sensitive thing in a very bad manner, and a lot of people got very upset with me. And I had to go to great lengths to explain myself, right? And, you know, and I wasn't even fucking around then. I was seriously trying to work through, you know, relaying my thought process and just failing at it. Like, I was just fucking around last week. I think you ladies would figure it out sooner or later. I think sooner or later, you guys would keep everything running. You know, one of you might crack open a book and figure out how to fucking keep shit running. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine there would be a whole team effort, and you'd all just figure it out and keep it going. And then you too would probably research fucking, you know, really kick-ass vibrator technology. And then all die off. Like, because that's... We need each other. Right? Another reason why these hypotheticals are always so fucking stupid. Because it's like, you have to tailor it down to a day. Because the obvious answer is just too obvious if you say, if there was no men left on the earth, how awesome would it be? It would be awesome for, I don't know, how old are you? Maybe 50 years, and then you die. All of you. Like, until there's one child left that is a baby right now that would grow up to be the last woman on earth, and then she would just fucking die. Like, that's what would happen if there was literally not the both of us here. We would just die off. We need each other. And here's the thing. Here's what I, you know, would like for the lesson out of all of this. The 1-2 punch. You know, fuck you up and then bring it back in for the love. What I would like for the lesson to be from all of this is that we need to stop. We need to stop. Just stop, like, fantasizing about what it would be like to not have each other in our lives. Right? Like, I think that's just, I think that is at this point doing a little bit more harm than good. Come on. Right? Somebody asks a stupid question on Twitter, it goes viral enough that I give enough of a shit to talk about it. And all I do is just be an asshole for fucking 20 minutes or however long it was. Just to see how many of you I can rile up so that I can make this video. Going, really? You're pissed at me over this? But anyways, so, yeah. Like, I think it's dumb. It's so dumb. It's so amazingly dumb. And I kind of figure if I shit on it in a really harsh way, maybe people will smarten up and not fucking do this dumb shit anymore. Because it's so dumb. We need each other. We do. And we need to figure out a way to exist with each other. We need to figure out a way wherein, you know, we can have some light sexual harassment that doesn't go anywhere and doesn't get touchy-feely and aggressive and violent or anything like that. But then everybody could just understand, we're just talking. That doesn't mean he's going to rape me later. Right? And women need to understand that it's okay for them to, if somebody's fucking, if every time you walk by Steve's desk at work or whatever, he fucking reaches out and grabs your ass, you need to feel it's okay to smack his fucking hand and go to HR, like, dragging him by his tie, and be like, tell her what you did. And then just immediately, the first time, nip that shit out. You know, obviously not. Don't drag the guy by his tie. You could kill him. But, you know, make a loud fucking issue of it right then and there. Make sure people see what's happening, what's going on, and that this was not a thing that was just, you just decided to start screaming at that poor Steve there. He didn't do nothing wrong. You do this every time I walk by. You know, like, come on. It's okay to do that kind of shit. Cause a scene. I don't care. That kind of shit, don't care. Because then it's done and it's over with. But that's the thing. Get over it then. Like, that doesn't mean that you now have to worry about Phil's desk and Jake's desk and, you know, like, for fuck's sake. Not everybody's gonna molest you every chance they get. Fuck. Unless you live in a really bad area. In which case, get out of there. But, no. But anyways. So, yeah. I think that we need to figure out a way to get along. Whatever that is. We're men. We like rules. We like to impose rules to things, right? That's why we came up with the greater portion at the beginning of the laws, and why, you know, like, and why football and basketball and baseball and hockey and all these other sports are a thing, because there's something that we can quantify down with rules, and there could be a decisive victory, you know? And we hate when it's a tie, because fuck that shit. Ties? Really? It's football. Anyways, so, you know what I mean? Like, we like rules, but we don't know what the rules are. We have no clue what the fucking rules are, right? And a lot of you ladies are different from each other. And a lot of you have different motivations for things. And a lot of you have different desires, and a lot of you have different wants, and a lot of you have different ideas on what your interaction with men should be like. And we interact with many different women a lot. And, you know, pretty much when you run into a basic normal old guy, you pretty much get a basic normal old guy. And he's going to be pretty much basic normal guy. And then that's going to be it. But you run into a basic normal girl. Fuck, who knows who that is? At least that's my experience. Yeah. See, this is where I'm digging my hole, right? How far are we into it? An hour, half an hour. Nobody's watching at this point. Anyways, so, yeah. I'm done. Like, we seriously, we need to figure out what the rules are. You know, what do you want from us? Tell us what you want, and we'll do that. But afterwards, don't bitch because all of a sudden you got what you wanted. Because then we're going to be like, well, what do you want? Like, oh my God. How many times have I just got like 5 different bad flashbacks from just saying, what do you want in that tone? Like, you know, like, because there's been so many times. What do you want? I just want this. Fine. You do that. I don't want that. Are we just trying to figure out what it is at this point? We're just trying to see what are we negotiating here? But we're doing that with just jumping me around through hoops. Like, oh my God, it just gets fucking exhausting. But that's the reason why we're getting so exhausted. That's why MGTOW is springing up. Because I say half the other shit that I say, and then all of a sudden I tease women for not knowing how to keep power plants running, like I do. And oh, I just can't watch it anymore. You're getting too big. Now it's fucked up. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. I think it's because that person was daydreaming about what it would be like to have no men and didn't think, you know, I'll just die off anyways. Yeah, alright, anyways, god damn it, I'm done. But yeah, the flags have meaning. I gotta write that down somewhere. The flags, I have to do a flag primer to let everybody know what all the flags mean. Because when I showed them off, when I got them, I didn't really like figure what the fuck they were going to be for. And I still don't know what I'm going to do with that actual Don't Tread on Me flag. Anyways, so, yeah. But I definitely know what the No Step on Snake flag is you know, it's when I'm defending myself. People attack me. When I have to defend myself, no step on snake.